Civic and Community Engagement for Social Development, an overview. Presented by Dr. Sajjad Haider, anthropologist. Introduction. Civic and Community Engagement, CCE, is the foundational mechanism through which democratic ideals are translated into societal action. It represents the collaborative process by which individuals and groups work together to address issues of public concern. Far exceeding mere participation in elections, CCE encompasses a sustained commitment to improving the quality of life in a community through both civic, political and policy-focused, and community, service and relational-focused means. This essay defines CCE, traces its historical development, outlines its characteristics, and demonstrates its necessity for robust social development, culminating in practical suggestions for student action in the Pakistani context. Defining civic and community engagement and active citizenship. Civic and community engagement is defined as the process of working to make a difference in the civic life of communities and developing the combination of knowledge, skills, values, and motivation to make that difference. It means promoting the quality of life in a community through both political and non-political processes. Active citizenship. Active citizenship is the practical expression of CCE. It signifies that citizens are not passive recipients of public services, but are involved agents in their governance and welfare. An active citizen understands that rights and responsibilities are reciprocal and interdependent. While civic participation refers to formal activities like voting, petitioning, or attending public hearings, active citizenship also includes informal, continuous actions such as engaging in social awareness campaigns, practicing responsible resource consumption, and upholding community standards. Historical development and characteristics. The concept of engagement has historical roots tracing back to the Greek polis, where citizenship inherently meant active participation in public affairs. In the modern era, CCE evolved alongside the development of civil society institutions, non-governmental organizations, NGOs, non-profits and volunteer associations, in response to failures or gaps left by the state in the market. In the South Asian and specifically Pakistani context, engagement is also deeply rooted in cultural and religious values of philanthropy, sadaqah or khidma, and mutual support. This tradition provides a strong cultural bedrock for modern volunteerism. Key characteristics and qualities of effective CCE. 1. Reciprocity. Engagement is a two-way process. Both the community and the participant benefit. 2. Inclusivity. Efforts must involve all segments of society, particularly marginalized groups, women, children, senior citizens, special persons. 3. Sustained effort. Engagement is not a one-time donation, but a long-term commitment to problem-solving. 4. Empowerment focused. CCE seeks to build capacity within the community so residents can eventually address their own needs independently. The need for social development and the role of advocacy. CCE is essential for social development because it builds social capital, the networks of relationships among people who live and work in a particular society, enabling that society to function effectively. When citizens are engaged, they can effectively manage local public goods and ensure accountability. This directly addresses systemic issues. Social advocacy. This involves speaking out on behalf of an issue, cause, or policy. For example, advocating for improved road safety legislation or stricter environmental protection is necessary to push public policy forward. Achieving the SDGs. CCE is the engine for localizing the UN Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. Initiatives focusing on cleanliness drives directly support SDG 6, clean water and sanitation, and SDG 11, sustainable cities. Education programs contribute to SDG 4, quality education. Mechanisms of engagement. Volunteerism, digital tools, and institutional roles. Volunteerism and e-volunteerism. Volunteerism is the practice of individuals giving their time and labor without financial compensation to benefit others. It can range from local cleanups to structured work with organizations like UN Volunteers, which deploy individuals globally to support peace and development initiatives. E-volunteerism, or online volunteering, harnesses digital technologies to perform tasks remotely. For example, graphic design for an NGO, translating documents, or providing online career advice and mentoring. This significantly lowers barriers to participation for students and working professionals. The digital dimension: internet, social media, and civic tools. The internet and social media platforms have revolutionized CCE, creating new avenues for engagement that transcend geographical and institutional barriers. Digital tools act as catalysts for awareness, mobilization, and accountability, profoundly impacting how citizens organize and advocate. Mobilization and awareness. Platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and local digital forums are used to rapidly disseminate information about community needs, launch emergency response campaigns, for example during disasters or medical crises, and organize physical projects like cleanliness drives. This rapid information flow is crucial for creating social awareness. Accountability and advocacy. Digital tools facilitate real-time monitoring of governance. Citizens use social media to report infrastructure failures, document instances of inefficiency, and engage in social advocacy by tagging public officials and demanding timely responses, e-governance feedback. Digital volunteerism and skill sharing. Social media allows for specialized skill matching, where students can offer skills like coding, data analysis, or graphic design to NGOs, supporting causes like education and health remotely, or providing remote psychosocial support and counseling. Virtual fundraising and networking. Digital platforms are now the primary drivers for small-scale fundraising for community development, allowing individuals to reach a broad donor base quickly and transparently. Institutional roles. Corporate social responsibility, CSR, represents the ethical commitment of corporations to contribute to sustainable development. CCE efforts often bridge the gap between community needs and CSR funding through fundraising for community development. Organizations like Girl Guide and Scouting programs instill the values of service, citizenship, and first aid preparedness from a young age, serving as preparatory frameworks for lifelong civic engagement. Student roles and practical ideas in the Pakistani context. Students across school, college, and university are powerful agents of change due to their energy, digital literacy, and access to knowledge. Their role is not just to volunteer, but to integrate learning with service learning. Focus on key sectors for student action. In the realm of education, students can establish digital literacy hubs by running weekend tutoring centers in low-income areas. Their CCE efforts should focus on teaching basic computer skills, English and mathematics, especially to children and adults in madrasas or informal schools, thereby fostering equity and building human capital. For health and safety, efforts should center on road safety campaigns, partnering with local traffic police to run awareness sessions on safe practices, like helmet usage and safe crossing, at college gates and public bazaars, perhaps using street theater. This directly links student action to civic responsibility and advocacy for public health. Furthermore, addressing disaster and emergency management is critical. University students can be trained in basic first aid, for example by the Red Crescent, to form campus-level emergency response teams, preparing for scenarios like floods or earthquakes. They can also host organized blood donor drives on campus, contributing to life-saving service and social responsibility. In a public health context, students can provide non-medical volunteer support in hospital management by assisting with patient queues, directing visitors, and offering support services like mobile libraries in waiting areas, alleviating strain on the public sector. For social inclusion, students can implement the buddy system for special persons, pairing with them to assist with accessibility, mobility, and skill building. Learning and teaching basic sign language phrases for effective communication in public spaces, like banks and hospitals, is a direct practical step toward promoting empathy and ensuring all citizens have equal access. Targeting vulnerable groups. Projects for the elderly and women include offering senior citizen tech support at community centers to assist with tasks like mobile banking and video calls. Simultaneously, students can run women's entrepreneurship workshops that teach financial literacy and marketing to women with home-based businesses, ultimately bridging the digital divide and supporting economic empowerment. In the area of psychosocial support, students should establish a non-professional, confidential peer counseling and referral group on campus. Training students to listen actively and make appropriate referrals for professional help is a crucial CCE step for addressing mental health stigma and providing basic support. Finally, student action must address the environment. Adopt a street/park cleanliness drives should be organized regularly beyond campus, with a key CCE focus on education regarding sustainable waste management, segregation, rather than just trash collection. Running campaigns against single-use plastics in nearby markets demonstrates environmental stewardship and contributes directly to the UN SDGs, especially SDG 13 climate action. Conclusion: civic and community engagement is indispensable for navigating complex societal challenges. It operationalizes democracy and ensures that development is equitable and sustainable. By actively engaging in structured volunteerism, robust advocacy, and inclusive community projects, both digitally and physically, the youth of Pakistan can harness their collective power to strengthen social capital, localize the UN SDGs, and build a more resilient and responsible society. The multifaceted nature of CCE demands a holistic approach, where every act, from a cleanliness drive to policy advocacy, contributes to the grand narrative of national progress.